Hello Scorpio, this is your September 1st to September 15th, 2016 read. For the main read, I'm using the Shadowscapes Tarot by Stephanie Pumunla. And for the advice cards, I'm using the Romance Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. Decks have been pre-shuffled, so let's get right to it. Okay. Ironically, while I'm using the Romance Angel cards for the advice cards, they don't always mean romance, but your overall, well, let's be fair, your overall crowning energy is 10 of Cups, which is great family life traditionally. Having good times, social events, good things like that. Every time I see this version of the card, it always pulls me into these two people, the lovers, the two people coming together to make that family, to enjoy life, to bring, like they're making the scene. Like without them, it would just be a very vacant scene. So I'm getting a lot of relationship energy coming through here. Definitely families included to that. But these are people who are very close to you. Even if it's not a relationship situation for you, definitely people who are very close in your inner circle that mean something to you. That's the whole energy for this whole read we got going on here. Ironically, we start out with that great card for the crowning. Then your first card in the door is the Devil card, which I'm thinking more overindulgence. I'm thinking like having a good time and just going with it and just like cares to the wind, however you want to put that. Not worrying about it, just going forward. You know, maybe saying some things without thinking about it, just kind of like going off the cuff. I feel like you might be a little more apt to just like let it fly. That's what I'm getting here. And just, especially if there's alcohol involved, you're really going to let it fly. I feel like you're just going to overindulge in whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy, I feel like you're overindulging when you start this time. And it might be like an end of the summer party type thing. Technically, summer doesn't end until around, what, the 20th, 22nd? Depending on when Virgo moves out. But I feel like that's that Memorial Day weekend. I always get those messed up. I want to say it's Memorial Day weekend. We'll find out. And you're going to have the barbecue, the get-together, having a good time. I just feel like you're just really going to let it fly. And it might come back a little bit, or you just might feel a little like, oh boy, I kind of overdid it that night or day or whatever, or it might be the whole weekend. The thing is, it's short-lived, sort of. Actually, I feel like that might carry through, because that's a major arcana. And the next card you have is the Page of Pentacles, which is kind of like sitting back, calming down, and in your case, especially in this line that I'm seeing here, I'm kind of like going, oh boy, it was a good time, but what did I do? Like, what? Maybe I went a little too overboard. I feel like in this case, it's more of assessing the damage. While you have good energy through the whole read, this might be one of the reasons why you do, because I feel like you have a lot of fun, and you may say things you didn't really mean, or just get a little out of hand, overindulge. Maybe maybe you're having some like health issues just because maybe you had some things, or didn't take care of yourself as well at that time. You just had more of a fun time than a good time, than like a healthy time, let's say. So you're just kind of like assessing what happened. What do I need to do to put this back in order? If you hurt a couple friends' feelings, like if it is somebody's feelings you hurt, it's somebody close to you, though. It's inner circle. This is all about inner circle, this whole read. And I feel like you're just sitting there mulling it over, what happened. Especially if you had alcohol, I feel like you're asking other people, and you're kind of like, you see this owl here? It makes me feel like you're asking your little birdie friend, like, what exactly did happen? Like, what exactly did I do? Like, did this happen like that? Like, because this is how I think it happened. That type of thing. And I feel like you have a lot of like support around you, but like you may have gotten a bit out of control, and it kind of comes up over here. And the people around you might just be like kind of this like, all right, this happens once in a while, but it's okay. They're just kind of holding back. Not in a bad way, just kind of like, I feel like especially when I see the blackbirds here, like partners in crime. You definitely weren't the only one having a good time when this started. Definitely not, and a lot of other people did too. And I'm getting like other people had their own fallout due to the same type of thing. Like it was, I feel like it was like almost like a crazy party where I feel like you're very energetic and you may have got the party going and you just kind of went your own way and did what you wanted and didn't worry about what you said, and other people followed suit. And that's kind of what I'm getting here, like partners in crime here. So I feel like a few of them are trying to act like nothing really, it wasn't that big a deal. But I think a few others are kind of like, some things got to be sorted out now. So we got to look at this stuff. But I feel like there's a few like trying to deny that anything really went awry, and other people that are also like thinking like you are, like, all right, let's assess the damage and start putting this back together. That's all. I'm thinking of seeing if there's anything else that's going to come off this card, but I'm not getting anything off it. So we're going to leave it right there for now. As we go past this time some more, I feel like whatever it was, I feel like you're kind of on eggshells after that a little bit. Like, the situation, however it happened, maybe we don't let me pick this up because you're not letting me pick you up? Okay. The situation, as it goes forward, I feel like you're kind of holding back and you're kind of being careful what you say. Whatever happened in the beginning, like you had a great time, but something went a little wonky, and I feel like it's being misunderstood or just a little chaotic energy, and things may have gotten, there's like maybe some like broken windows, things like that going on. Hopefully not. We have the Hermit reversed, but this is for the environment around you. So this is the people. These people moving into the next phase for them. Like, I don't feel like they want to deal with it. I'm feeling like it's almost like a mind trick. Like, I feel like they just kind of want to move on like it didn't happen. Like, some of them in the beginning kind of wanted to, like, where they felt like they were going to have to fix it. But I feel like at this point, they're kind of feeling like they may be able to skip away without having to really deal with it. And I feel like that's what's going on. I'm also kind of thinking you might be taking the lead and just fixing it yourself, and that may be why. Other people to do it. See, this isn't, like, you may have had a big part in whatever happens, but I feel like other people also had their own little pieces, and they should be fixing them themselves. But I feel like they're avoiding that. Like, a lot of times when the Hermit is right side up, this is somebody searching for answers, going within, enlightenment, things like that. But when he's reversed, especially in this card, I feel like it's a repetitious circle. Like, this isn't the first time this has happened. This might be something where things go a little awry, people kind of shy back, and then you start fixing whatever needs to be fixed, and life goes on, and they just kind of ignore that it happened, or try to. Let's get some advice cards out here. That's interesting. Okay. Definitely people that are close to you. This comes up for the people in your environment, which makes me feel, again, close circle, inner circle, people who mean a lot to you. Definitely, it's a romance angel card. I give you that. But where it comes up in this situation, these people are very important to you. I don't feel like they're new acquaintances. I feel like they're people that you're really connected to. At the very least, if you just met some of them, they're people you've clicked with, right off the bat. Most of you, though, it's going to be people who have been around you for a while. And this is just saying, like, the people in your environment, very important to you, which is, I see this is why this is going this way. Whatever happens, the good time, you kind of step back and assess, and then I feel like you're the one that's fixing it. I really do. When we look forward here, we got this for your advice. We got forgiving and learning and trust. this comes up in the next part of your succession like this. So I can hold these up so you can see them. You've got the Fool reversed, which to me means that you're being overly cautious. You're like walking on eggshells. And then the Chariot reversed, which is almost like whatever the party was or the good time was in the beginning of the month, like a couple weeks later, another opportunity comes again, and you're like, no, I'll sit this one out. I mean, it would be fun until the next day, so I'll just sit this one out. That's what I'm getting for that. And the trust is connected to this. Sitting it out, trust that you're making the right decision there. That's what I'm getting for this. You can take it a few different ways, of course, but for this situation, sitting out the second time around, that is, trust your intuition on that one. Trust your gut feeling. Forgiving and learning. Forgive yourself for what happened. So I feel like a couple people's feelings were hurt, and I feel like you're kind of like taking ownership of the whole situation. Again, I don't feel like it's all you, but I feel like you're trying to own it all to fix it. But you need to forgive yourself, because I feel like you're going to be looking for that forgiveness from whatever the situation was and trying to make it right, but you need to forgive yourself some to realize it's not all you. It's not really all your responsibility, even though I still feel like you're the one that's going to fix it. Okay. Anything else we got here? The environment around you. I feel like it's a very... See, we got the Eight of Pentacles, which is a spider in a web here, which is... There's a lot of, like... It's supposed to be like little pieces of light, but to me they always look like gems. And then you get the Four of Pentacles reversed. Which makes me think, because this is right under the part where the Chariot was, where I said trust your intuition to stay out of this next time around. Because I feel like that's what they're doing. They're getting involved in the situation again. They're repeating the same thing. Like, it's only a couple weeks later, but it feels like a second time around. It's going to happen again. And I really highly recommend you stay out of it if you can. When this time frame comes through, and you may not see it coming, but like after it's happened, after that first week, from the 1st to the 7th, or that Memorial Day weekend. I hope it's Memorial Day. I'm just like an idiot if it's not. Is it Memorial Day or is it Labor Day? It's probably Labor Day. I always screw those two up. I always mix them back and forth. Whatever the celebration is, I feel like it's going to get out of hand, and it's just, there's going to be problems there. And then it's going to come around again. Whatever the situation was, if it was a party, if it was a get-together, if it was something a little too much, you're going to hear about it. You're definitely going to hear about it. And the people around you are going to get involved with it again, and they're going to go through and do it, whatever it is. Your best bet is to stay out of it. In fact, when we're looking at the beginning, when it comes up to the Devil card in the very beginning, the overindulging, the advice is to not... I feel like this is going to happen either way, but if you can keep your wits about you and, you know, especially be careful of alcohol or getting too pulled along in the flow as much as possible, it doesn't have to be as bad. I'm getting more the Retreat card here, that once you see things starting to go a little flunky, instead of getting involved, like kind of bow out and call it a night, or however that needs to be. I don't think you're going to want to, because for the most part, you're having a good time. But there'll be like a couple times where you'll think to yourself, you know, maybe I should just call it a night. If you take that advice and go home, or, you know, turn in for the night, or whatever you need to do, just step away from the situation, this won't be as bad for you, at least. I really don't feel like you're going to be able to make it better. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But if you can step back, it'll be easier for you in the long run. And especially when it comes around the second time, I feel like you'll be able to say, you know, I stepped out for a reason, and give other people that clue. Like, you know what? I knew that wasn't going to go right, so I backed off. And you could give other people advice like, you know, I think it's going to happen again. I wouldn't. I mean, I love you guys, but I wouldn't do it. That's just what I'm saying. Or do something different. Try to change the situation. I feel like if you step back, you'll have that leverage to give that input, to say, let's step back, because it worked for me. If you don't, you'll still be able to say that if you want to, of course, but I don't feel like it'll have as much pull or influence as if you did it yourself the first time. So the overall, I would say, these are people very close to you, a little bit going crazy in the beginning. I would do your best, when you notice it going a little awry, to step back. And by step back, I mean step out of the situation. I don't feel like you can kind of like watch from the sidelines and just not get involved. I don't feel like that's going to work for you. I feel like you really, literally need to step away, leave the party, leave the situation, turn in for the night, whatever you gotta do. And then when it comes around the second time, like, not get involved at all. And trust your intuition, because when this comes around, you're going to have that feeling. Like, if this resonates with you, when the second time comes around, you'll have that inkling where you're going to be like, you know what, I don't really want to be involved with this. And you don't have to be mean or, like, insensitive or anything, nothing along those lines at all, but you can just, like, in fact, plan something different, or just make it to where you can't do it. Something like that. Just trust your intuition not to be involved with that again, because I feel like it might ramp up again. Whatever the situation is around the first, it's going to repeat again around the 15th. Also remember, whatever it is, especially if you end up not leaving and you stay, it's not all your fault, and I feel like you're going to try to make amends. That being said, especially because you're trying to make amends, make sure that you forgive yourself as well as whatever happened. Sometimes other people don't want to forgive, and you might not get that forgiveness from the other person, but you need to forgive yourself so you can let go and just do what you can, but you only can fix so much. We're all human, Alright, that is your September 1st to September 15th, 2016 read. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Or if you'd like a personal read from me, shoot me an email at jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you very much.